and stay healthy. As the governor said, we are all in this together. And once again, here's the number for the Georgia Department of Public Health hotline. It's 844-442-2681, 844-442-2681. Call this number before you go to your doctor. Stay healthy.
For the latest information on the coronavirus, download the 11 Alive app now.
Show me a tune I can nod to. I'm breaking it back again, rising above to the top again, hitting it hard to the very end. I'm making
Have some fun this year and adventure off in the best. A new Honda SUV, now with special lease and finance offers. See your North Georgia Honda dealer today.
Order for Jack?
Oh, sorry, was this for jackpots?
Wait, your jackpots? Me too.
Aisha Howard working from home tonight as we at 11 Alive in the WATL practice social distancing. So before our broadcast, you just heard from Governor Kemp and his coronavirus task force as they held a statewide town hall tonight, really talking about the state of the outbreak here as it stands right now in Georgia. Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms was a part of that town hall, and she talked about the importance of social distancing. Take a listen.
We have to remember that Grady is already in a compromised position because of the flood a couple of months ago. And on any given day, Grady may be near capacity. The anecdotal information that I received just yesterday was that Grady was around 90% at capacity in its ICU. So we have to remember, in the midst of this coronavirus, heart attacks don't stop, car accidents don't stop, any of the number of other things that send people into the ICU. So it is of tremendous concern to me, and by the projections that I've received from Dr. Carlos Del Rio at Emory, at this rate, we will exceed our capacity in the state by May 3rd. But certainly it's our hope that with these proactive measures in place that we can stop and slow down the spread of this virus.
The governor also said during the town hall that Georgia public schools will be closed for about another month. They're now not expected to reopen until at least April 27th. As for public colleges, they still won't reopen at all this semester, sticking with e-learning instead. You can watch the entire governor's town hall right now on our 11 Alive YouTube page. Yesterday, the governor told us he believes the virus may have been spreading undetected here in Georgia for weeks before we had our first official confirmation. Joe Hinkie is taking a closer look at the timeline.
People already had this disease over a month ago in our state. There's some, and I'm one of them, that believes this virus has been here since potentially December or early January.
Governor Kemp made that statement Wednesday in a one-on-one interview with 11 Alive. Today, his office confirmed his statement is based on the unavailability of testing early on as the virus spread, meaning COVID-19 could have been in Georgia for weeks while going undetected. Today, we asked the CDC about when the virus may have first entered Georgia or the U.S. A spokesman wrote by email, it's not clear when COVID-19 first entered the U.S. CDC and others are conducting studies that may help to answer this question. Here is the timeline we do have based off reporting from NBC News and information from the CDC. December 31st, Chinese officials confirmed cases of pneumonia in Wuhan from an unknown cause. A week later, the outbreak is ID'd as a new strain of coronavirus. Nearly 2 weeks later, the World Health Organization confirms the first cases outside of China in Thailand, Japan, and South Korea. And U.S. health officials confirmed the first confirmed U.S. case in Washington state from a man who traveled home from Wuhan. Days later, screenings for the virus began at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, and on March 2nd, the first 2 confirmed cases in Georgia are announced. So the question now, can anything be done to look back and verify if COVID-19 came to Georgia before those confirmed cases on March 2nd? Dr. Jose Cordero, a professor and epidemiologist with UGA, says researchers did just that in Puerto Rico following the Zika outbreak of 2016.
What was done is just look back at the samples of people that were tested for fever and symptoms that were related like to dengue and others that were negative for that, and were tested for Zika. And because of that, we found some in November, but also we went all the way to July and found none.
Cordero says in theory the same could now be done with samples remaining from people who tested negative for the flu or other viruses here in Georgia.
With many businesses ordered to close to help stop the spread of COVID-19, you can expect unemployment claims in Georgia. They are soaring. So we just got some new numbers and some confirmation from the state. Let's take a look at the breakdown of the numbers. So the state tells us claims doubled here in Georgia last week. Claims are now coming in faster than what the state saw during the recession in 2008 and 2009. Doug Richards talked to workers who are now struggling to support themselves.
Well, the year was actually going pretty good.
Phil Colvin had 7 tattoo artists working in his 2 Atlanta shops, and business had been pretty great.
We were getting busier and busier, and as soon as the coronavirus started hitting, we saw the business starting to drop.
Then all of them abruptly lost their jobs.
We go from having a daily income to zero. There's no way to prepare for it. Like, even knowing that something was going to change.
It's become a common theme in what was once the thriving world of Atlanta business, especially small businesses, like some of those serving what had been Georgia's robust movie industry.
So my business has gone from, robust to zero.
Bob Lucas runs a prop and set warehouse for filmmakers who have all but stopped making movies in Georgia.
We went from a very busy March. My order board was chock full with stuff going out every day, and went from completely full to completely empty.
Lucas says he laid off 9 people last week, nearly all his staff. The state says unemployment claims from shuttered businesses appear to be setting record numbers. When was the last time you gave a tour?
It was actually 2 weeks ago.
Robin Elliott runs Bicycle Tours of Atlanta, a company that has had to part ways with all of its tour guides.
The tour guides that work for me, this is kind of a side gig for them, but a lot of their other side gigs are kind of falling apart. I have, one of my guides is an actor, one works in the restaurant business, one juggles a couple different jobs and juggles this one. So we've all felt the impact.
Elliott says spring is normally high season for bike tours, especially in an economy that had been roaring.
If you are one of the many people trying to file an unemployment claim right now, we do have a guide set up for you at 11alive.com where we walk you through it step by step. Jennifer.
Right now, there is still no shelter-in-place order for the entire state of Georgia, but many local communities have declared their own states of emergency, ordering non-essential businesses to close. So who's allowed to work and who's not? Hospitals, health clinics, and pharmacies are open. Firefighters and police officers are still on the job. Grocery stores still doing business, as are restaurants that can take takeout orders, along with gas stations and public transit. So you can think of essential businesses as those that can help fill basic human needs and support people on the front lines. So what's closed? Tourist attractions, sports venues, movie theaters, dine-in restaurants, and office buildings. Big box stores that don't sell groceries have also been forced to shut their doors in several states. Well, to encourage social distancing, some stores like this one on Peachtree Road are putting markings on the floor which give people a guide to stand 6 feet apart. Governor Kemp says stores have to practice social distancing if they want to remain open. Even the stores that do stay open look different. Publix installed plexiglass shields at the checkout lines to protect workers from people coughing or sneezing. Kroger and Walmart are also putting those in place. Well, here's something we want to address. We've gotten questions from viewers who are still going to work every day and say their bosses are not following safety guidelines from the state. They're wondering what they can do about it. We reached out to the governor's office. They say you should call the state's COVID-19 hotline. That number is on your screen. It's 1-844-442-2681. We have a full guide of which counties and which cities have ordered people to shelter in place and those that have set curfews. You can find it right now in the As Seen on TV section of the 11 Alive app.
New on Primetime tonight, COVID-19 concerns hit one of the largest detention centers in the entire country. Family members who have loved ones at the Stewart Detention Facility say they're concerned about how things are being handled there and they want their loved ones released. Elwin Lopez talked to a woman tonight who says she has a friend there who was concerned and anxious just like everyone else.
Coming into this country without an authorization is one thing, but like losing their lives over this virus is a completely different thing.
Ana Maria Rockenbach says she worries about those held by ICE at Stewart Detention Center, about 50 miles from hard-hit Dougherty County, where there are more than 100 COVID-19 cases. A friend of hers remains at Stewart after getting a DUI. She says he told her social distancing at the center is practically impossible.
There's literally no way to avoid a massive amount of people contracting the virus.
There are no confirmed cases of COVID-19 at ICE detention facilities here in Georgia, but there are 2 in New Jersey. Federal immigration officials say they are screening new detainees to identify those who are at a higher risk of exposure and have suspended social visits to all of its detention facilities. The agency says it is also isolating detainees with fever and respiratory symptoms. Reichenbach says her friend and others inside Stewart's are concerned that it might not be enough, as COVID-19 symptoms could take days to show up.
That's the worry for the new people coming in. That's the worry for the staff, the people in the kitchen. That's what everyone is worried about.
Ahead, children won't be going back to school anytime soon. We're getting reaction from parents and sharing some tools to help you cope.
We're in a dry pattern right now, and we'll stay dry for the next couple of days, but we are watching a system that will eventually bring us a little bit of rain. Stay with us. We'll let you know if that's going to impact your weekend.
And let us know you're hanging out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. only on 11 Alive.
The 11 Alive app is your go-to source for all things Atlanta.
You hear what happened today? I'll tell you all about it.
Breaking news the moment it happens.
The boil water advisory.
Hyper-local, accurate weather alert.
You may want to grab that sweater, maybe even a coat.
More stories to uncover. More videos to discover.
He did it his way.
Personalized for you.
And that's what makes it so special.
The 11 Alive app. Available now in the App Store.
Hey, I got the ways to go. I got moves to make, homie, but I stay in the flow. So y'all just do what I say I'm gonna do. No, movement ain't fading. You could assume what we're doing was beta material.
Oh, and so I was saying, there is always something filming here in Atlanta. From movies to TV shows, you name it. And so the A Scene keeps up with all of it for you. Casting calls, which big celebrities are in town, what's filming, and if it's in your neighborhood. It's like an inside scoop.
Oh, nice. But you know, I really wish you would have told us we were filming this today.
Ooh, did I not text you? All right. Ah, it's in my drafts. That's my bad.
The COVID-19 headlines are coming in rapidly. We are working so hard to keep up, but we know it's very difficult for you to stay on top of the news. So let's check out 3 stories you might have missed. Let's kick it off with Delta, who is now suspending some international flights. Let's get you updated on that one. First, in an effort to contain the spread of the virus, Delta announced it is suspending numerous international flights. Flights from JFK in New York to London were already suspended, but now, starting April 1st, you will no longer be able to fly from Los Angeles to Tokyo. As of today, passengers will not be able to fly from Atlanta to Honolulu. You can find the full list of suspensions on Delta's website. A Cobb County executive order will allow Sterigenics to temporarily reopen. The order permits the plant to sterilize medical equipment. During the COVID-19 outbreak, the amount of ethylene oxide permitted on the site will be restricted. The company must also immediately report any incident at the facility. The emergency order expires at the end of the county's emergency declarations there in Cobb. And today, the EPA has approved the increase of sterilizing medical equipment at the BD plants in Covington and also Madison. The agreement only applies during this emergency period. The BD plant is also installing new air emission controls at the 2 facilities to reduce the release of ethylene oxide into the air. A grocery store in Pennsylvania threw out $35,000 worth of products after a woman walked in the store and purposely coughed on food. In a Facebook post, the store's owner said the woman coughed on fresh produce, baked goods, and meats. Everything she came in contact with was thrown out. The store also underwent a deep clean. The woman is expected to face multiple charges. Police are also working to get her tested for coronavirus.
I'm meteorologist Chris Holcomb from the 11 Alive Storm Trackers here with you on the ATL, as well as you see my phone right here kind of propped up on this stand, as I'm also doing a Facebook Live. We had close to over 400 people earlier, now about 200 folks still on. I've been doing this since 9 o'clock, where folks are asking about the weather and so many questions about pollen. And folks, it's high out there. Look at the pollen count today, 3697. That is our highest pollen count so far this year. And I was just telling folks on Facebook Live, this is also the highest count since mid-April of last year. And we think this pollen count is going to keep going up because we usually don't peak until the beginning of April, and we're just not quite there yet. So we think we'll have some higher numbers. Today's pollen's mainly from tree pollens, from oak, pine, hackberry, juniper, and mulberry. The grass pollens are also high, weeds are down, and the mold is in the high range as well. So if you have any of these that trigger your allergies, be aware of that. Sometimes the mold really impacts people too. Now, temperatures were warm today. We actually got up to 80 degrees for a high. Earlier, I reported a high of 79. It bumped up 1 more degree since then, so 80 is our official high temperature for the day, way above the average. Right now we're at 73. Now Atlanta's holding on to some of that heat. It's cooling down a little more outside this city, 68 in Peachtree City, 67 in Carrollton, Marietta, and Duluth, and then 58 right now up in the Blairsville area. So pretty chilly up there in parts of near Clayton. So we have these temperatures. This is going to be tomorrow morning, where we're going to start off around 60 degrees, then by 9 be up to 64, 72 at 11, 78 at 1, and then look at these temperatures tomorrow. This model is saying 85. I'm going 86. It's going to be really hot. If we hit 86 degrees, that is going to tie the record for today's date. So potentially record temperatures coming our way tomorrow. As you see, I'm going with 86, a low of 60. We will see sunshine mixing in with a few clouds at times. And on our scale from 1 to 11, where an 11 is a perfect day, we're going to go with a 10 with that warm air in place and dry weather in our area. Here's the forecast track. Tomorrow at 7, you can see the southerly flow, a good bit of sunshine early in the morning. And we will be watching just a few clouds that will mix in with that sunshine at times during the day. But really great day, that southwesterly flow helping to transport more of that warm air our way. And then on Saturday, just a few changes. See these clouds out to the west? Some of those are going to mix in during the day. It's not going to be overcast. It's just going to be an increase in clouds at times blocking out the sunshine. And then on Sunday, we're watching this next system. This is at 8:30 Sunday morning. This is going to swing through pretty quickly. This is at lunchtime, and then after lunch that moves out of the area. And at this point, we think it's just going to be a few scattered showers. Maybe some thunder and lightning, but the severe weather threat looks on the very low end right now for Sunday. So partly cloudy Friday, 86, 83 Saturday with a few more clouds around. Scattered showers Sunday, but not a washout. Dry Monday, more scattered showers move in on Tuesday, and then Wednesday and Thursday, scattered showers Wednesday, drying out Thursday as we cool back down into the 60s, getting into the middle of next week.
Chris, thank you. Homeschool for at least another month. Today, Governor Kemp announced the closure of all public schools through April 24th. 11 Alive's Latasha Gibbons shows us how parents are coping with becoming homeschool teachers.
Now that's going to be a hard pill to swallow for parents, but it's something we're going to have to work with. It's going to have a great impact on the students.
That's Selma Wilson's reaction to the news. She's the daycare teacher who misses interacting with her students.
We look forward to that daily greeting, seeing their faces, watching them progress in their growth.
Tony Bridges let out a big sigh when we checked in with her and her daughter Shania on what it's been like so far.
I think for the kids, it's a lot of work. The testing, the quizzing, and the parents, we have to be the instructors. And I don't think all of us have that patience as some teachers do.
She says her skills as a substitute teacher are coming in handy. And she has empathy for the parents who still have to work while their students are at home.
It's been a challenge, but we're making it day by day.
Because we're in this together. It's not hitting one person and missing the other. We all are feeling the brunt of it.
And we want to hear from you, the good and the bad. Share your experience and your solutions on the 11 Alive Facebook page. And remember, we're in this together.
Governor Kemp's extension getting a lot of reaction online, as some of you already sharing your thoughts. Julie Phillips says the only way our kids can go back to school eventually is if the governor shuts everything down. Debbie thinks all students should pass. She says kids are having to teach themselves and ultimately parents aren't teachers. Josh also weighing in. He says, coming from someone who is in the medical field and has kids, he doubts schools will go back, and if they do, it'll cause another outbreak. We, of course, as Latasha said, want to know what you think. You can join the conversation in the comment section of this article. You can find it on the 11 Alive Facebook page.
All right, so what was a complaint for a lot of people has now become our #1 resource. I'm talking about having your face in a phone around the clock. Well, that's what we have to use now, right, with social distancing. So what are some of the best apps to use to keep in close contact with your friends and your family to make it feel like you haven't skipped a beat? Liza Lucas turned to a tech expert to get some suggestions for us.
In a world of social distancing, our digital habits have been turned upside down. Tech expert Anna Ruth Williams helps walk us through the many ways we can connect.
FaceTime is great. And if grandma has an iPhone, you can teach her how to use the FaceTime button just as easy as the call button. Zoom is now the #1 app in the Google Play Store. Zoom is an awesome video tool.
But there are new apps also getting attention.
One is called House Party, and it's an app that allows for group video chat. And then another one is called Marco Polo, which is kind of brands itself as a video walkie-talkie. Use the time to be a digital explorer.
Digital exploring isn't just for families. Schools are also getting creative with connecting.
Edmodo, Zern, Canvas, Flashmath, as well as just YouTube to hold virtual classes.
Right now, it's safe to say there's a huge need for connection for users and companies. So Williams' advice?
Look, all these vendors right now are learning how to improve their products because they're getting a mass amount of users at once. But be patient, because I have heard of a lot of tools having bandwidth issues.
At the end of the day, Williams says this could be the return of why apps were created in the first place.
They are enabling deep human connection and authentic connectivity and really meaningful dialogue.
Neighborhood. It's like an inside scoop.
Oh, nice. But you know, I really wish you would have told us we were filming this today.
Ooh, did I not text you? All right. Ah, it's in my drafts. That's my bad.
So you slept in and you missed morning rush, huh? Well, here's what you missed. In my experience, good guys do finish last.
Stop.
I consider myself a nice guy. I've got the most beautiful woman in the world in my eyes.
You're a nice guy too,
Yeah.
Chesney.
I'm saying in my experience, when growing up, good guys didn't finish.
Somebody broke his heart somewhere along the line.
We're here every weekday morning, so come on, hang out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11 Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
You didn't get my text? The whole crew got together for coffee this morning. I'm learning the taste of water because I'm sugary.
Yeah.
Right.
About that.
Reward would be
Slimming down. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
A little water in my cup.
And beautiful skin. Even more beautiful skin, when it's all hydrated and everything else. I'm not going to be able to sit next to you in a few months.
Don't drink your morning coffee alone. Have it with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11 Alive.
Some mornings, what you want isn't what you have time for. And that's why there's the Rush Block, the biggest news of the day in 5 minutes or less. Quick and convenient for all those hectic mornings. Catch the Rush Block on the Morning Rush.
Everybody has learned how to drive, so I'm going to go ahead and retire.
It didn't last long. Crank up your morning rush with Crash Clark. Weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. on 11 Alive. Traffic brought to you by John Foy & Associates.
Atlanta is filled with great photo spots. And of course, I would know because this is my hometown. I'm 11 Alive's Francesca Amaker, and I'm about to show you my picks for the 3 best Instagram spots in Atlanta.
The House of Representatives will take up an economic relief bill on Friday that would set aside $2 trillion for corporations, small businesses, and individual Americans. Today, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said she is confident the House will pass this bill, but there is still much more that needs to be done. Speaker Pelosi is now calling for a 4th coronavirus relief bill. Under the plan, if you're single and make less than $75,000 a year, you're going to get $1,200. If you're married and make less than $150,000, you're going to get $2,400. Plus, parents will get an additional $500 for each child. You'll get less money if you have a bigger salary. An individual who earns more than $99,000, they won't get anything. And married couples without children who earn more than $198,000 won't get anything either. So there are still a lot of questions about what does this mean for our daily lives. Caitlin Ross breaks it down with some answers for us tonight.
There are so many questions about this stimulus package out there. Who's eligible? Who's going to get the check? So we wanted to go directly to the experts. We're joined with Andrew Poulos, who's a financial expert. And when I put this out on my Facebook page, hundreds of you weighed in. So we wanted to take those questions right to Andrew. Diana wants to know if you'll receive the check if you're on disability or Social Security.
Great question that Diana has. And the short answer is you should. The long answer as to how much or how you will qualify has yet to be determined.
Debbie wants to know what kind of tax hit she's going to take for accepting this money.
That's the unknown, and that's another great question. The government has not told us, Congress hasn't told us if this will even be taxable, if this will have to be repaid.
I pitched this one over to Mike Scordelis. He's a chief economist for SunTrust. Michelle asks, what if you had to file for unemployment? Are you still eligible?
Absolutely. In fact, that's one of the key pieces of this legislation, is going through the typical normal unemployment benefit process. And what they're doing now is supplementing it.
We're going to answer more of your questions with the experts at 6 tonight. So if you have something you want to ask them, send us a text at 404-885-7600.
Still ahead, a Georgia hospital is under fire after telling employees who tested positive for COVID-19 to keep working. It's a story you'll only see on 11 Alive.
News and numbers on Up Late.
What's the best part about
Your voice, it is never too loud or too much. Your voice has the power to tell it like it is.
Bringing us together to act.
Together our voices grow. Together we come alive, amplifying voices and breaking down barriers to change the story and shape the future. Together we are unstoppable. Together we are where Atlanta speaks.
Remember the old days, the old cliffhangers when we used to watch shows
Hate
and they
cliffhangers.
would, they would wait the next week. You're, what's going to happen to the $6 million man? He was hanging with his one bionic arm.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. only on 11 Alive.
Atlanta. Almost 6 million people call the Metro home. But what makes this place so great? I'm 11 Alive's Chesley McNeil. I'm going to give you 3 reasons why Atlanta is the best city in America. Come on, man. It's the heart of the South. And it's one of the most diverse cities around. People from all walks of life have come here and made it home. From different backgrounds, languages, and religions. And who can forget about the food? They all make this a cultural melting pot, full of great people and Southern hospitality. Atlanta's rich history is unmatched, known as the cradle of the civil rights movement for good reason. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Andrew Young, John Lewis, they all fought in the struggle for equal rights right here. Businesses on Sweet Auburn Avenue, local black churches, and college students from Atlanta all helped shape the future of America. Once an Olympic city, Atlanta's home to the best sports scene across the nation. Hey look, the South has something to say. You won't find more passionate fans anywhere. From the Atlanta Braves home run king, my man Hank Aaron, to the human highlight film Hawks Dominique Wilkins, some of the greatest athletes have come through Atlanta. We're talking the Falcons, the Braves, the Hawks, the MLS champs, Atlanta United. This city has something for every kind of sports fan. So what do you think? Is Atlanta the best city in America? Connect with us. Use Facebook or Instagram and tell us why this city's got it going on. And then watch us every weekday morning from 5 to 7 on the Morning Rush on 11 Alive.
Televised newscast not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
Babe, where are my keys?
Where's my lunch?
Where's my phone? Hey, where's my blue shirt?
Where's my pen? Have you seen it?
Everybody has learned how to drive, so I'm going to go ahead and retire.
It didn't last long. Crank up your morning rush with Crash Clark. Weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. on
There are now more than 68,000 cases of coronavirus in the United States, and we've passed an unfortunate milestone with more than 1,000 deaths here now. So as we see more cases, many people are questioning the timeline that President Trump gave earlier this week, saying he wanted the country back up and running, Jennifer, by Easter.
The country's top health experts say politicians won't be able to determine how long social distancing measures will be in place. Here's Dr. Anthony Fauci on CNN last night.
You don't make the timeline. The virus makes the timeline. So you've got to respond in what you see happen. And if you keep seeing this acceleration, it doesn't matter what you say 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. You've got to go with what the situation on the ground is.
The most confirmed cases, Governor Cuomo says nearly 1 out of every 4 patients is in intensive care. Employees at a public hospital in Queens say they have been overwhelmed for nearly 3 weeks.
And Georgia is really in the thick of it, fighting these coronavirus cases that are just coming in at such a rapid pace. So earlier this week, a healthcare system told their employees who tested positive for coronavirus in hospitals to keep working because they weren't showing any symptoms. In an exclusive, 11 Alive's Faith Abube went to ask some tough questions after we found out what was happening here.
The problem is that until that patient's test comes back positive, nurses are being told to take care of that patient without any protective equipment.
A Georgia nurse says she's worried healthcare workers are being exposed to COVID-19 on the job, and hospitals are having to make tough decisions because of a shortage of vital medical equipment. And now a memo to hospital staff at Phoebe Health in Southwest Georgia on Monday is raising even more concerns. The letter, posted on social media, says the Department of Public Health requires all healthcare workers to be tested for COVID-19. even if they're not showing any symptoms of the virus. And even if they do test positive, they should continue working as long as they're symptom-free.
We had very long, animated conversations with the local health department, with the state health department, asking them to reconsider, discussing what position this would put us in and would put any healthcare organization in. And unfortunately, they felt like they were under a federal mandate to do that.
Scott Steiner is CEO of Phoebe Health.
The CDC still recommends that you can work as long as you wear a mask the entire time that you are working. Because if we don't have nurses and doctors, tell me who's going to care for our patients.
The nurse at another Georgia hospital echoes concerns about the work requirements.
Am I an asymptomatic carrier of the virus being told to still work? If what we are being told is if we are not showing symptoms of infection, we should still work. And that's regardless of how great our exposure has been.
It's not a perfect situation.
Steiner says DPH signed off on the original memo to employees, requiring them to keep working even if they test positive for COVID-19. DPH tells The Reveal it was a mistake that unfortunately was not caught in the approval process.
And that's the other piece of this. Everybody's looking for the exact right answer, and there isn't one. I'd love to be able to say, hey, if you've tested positive, go home, take whatever it is, 7 days or 2 weeks. But again, remember, we have to run a hospital here. Otherwise, we would have to shut down. And most organizations are in that same position.
Concerns about the original memo has now forced changes at Phoebe Health. And because the CDC is giving local authorities some flexibility to avoid staffing shortages, DPH says once confirmed as positive, any staff member must be excluded from the hospital and remain in isolation per routine protocol. They should only work if they are asymptomatic or waiting for their COVID-19 test results and have proper protective gear.
We are operating by the best information that we have from the CDC, other agencies, and just again, trying to make sure that our staff is safe, that we're taking care of them, and that we're able to focus on taking care of all of our patients.
Kelly Halsey with Piedmont Health says if employees are not showing symptoms, they can still work, but they are not being tested until they show symptoms. Emory and Grady Hospital also say they are not testing healthcare workers who are not showing symptoms. Children's Healthcare and Wellstar say employees can stay home if they show symptoms. In a sea of muddled messages, all the healthcare workers we talk to say they're still doing the best they can in a growing pandemic. At Phoebe Health, once a staff member is exposed to the virus, they can only work with COVID positive and suspected patients.
What we tell our patients is that their safety and their health care is our most important item, and that we would never put them intentionally at risk, that the measures that we have put into place to protect them and to protect our staff, to protect our doctors, are what the CDC and the experts have recommended.
Phoebe Health says several hundred workers did ask for the test. Although they were not showing any symptoms, they were still waiting for those test results to come back from those employees there. So Faith turned to the CDC to ask what is the recommended return to work recommendation here. And the CDC says that this should be left up to local hospitals and local health departments.
We'll take a look at the latest numbers in Georgia. 1,643 confirmed cases of COVID-19. A new category here, 509 people hospitalized and 56 deaths. The highest number of patients are between the ages of 18 to 59. 1% of cases involve children under the age of 18. Cheryl Preheim spoke with a mom in Sandy Springs whose teenage son is sick and says parents need to know more about the risk to kids.
Jordy's finally feeling well enough to play a little piano after 17 days in quarantine.
Have not left the house, had not had interaction with other people.
He's 14, presumed to have COVID-19, but confirming that has been frustrating.
This long to get the test kits. They didn't want to even test kids. And now you're waiting a week? I mean, that's just crazy.
7 days and still no test results.
It's a very serious thing since me living through it.
His mom, Stacy, says the under 18 age group has been virtually left out of the COVID-19 conversation, yet they're getting sick.
It's happening. We've got kids in the hospital. My son was diagnosed with pneumonia a week ago. The kids are not immune to it. It is happening to younger kids, and parents need to really be aware of what the true signs are.
It started with a fever, 99.5, then a dry cough and a tightness and pain in his chest.
I was panicked and not sleeping and waiting for the call and making sure he was still breathing. It got worse and worse.
They see the official numbers and know there's more.
We haven't got our test results back in a week, then who knows how many people haven't got theirs back.
But there's no way that those numbers are right. I don't believe anything that they say.
Georgia House Speaker David Ralston is asking the Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger to push back Georgia's primary, currently set for May 19th. That has already been pushed back once, asking for it to go back even further. In a letter, Speaker Ralston talks about the uncertain future of this public health emergency. He also mentioned several other states that have already delayed their presidential primaries before asking the Secretary to move Georgia's general primary to June 23rd at the earliest. So to do so would require changing state law. We've reached out, and right now the Secretary of State's office has no comment on this proposal.
The government is constantly warning citizens about scammers trying to take advantage of the COVID-19 pandemic. Criminals will pretend to be banks, phone companies, even the government, and it's all in an attempt to get your personal information. Our sister station in D.C. has tips on how you can spot scams.
As the coronavirus spreads, so do myths and rumors online. That's why the Verify team is here to look at these online claims and find out if they're real. Take this post on Facebook, which has been shared more than 520,000 times. The recipient warns that he got this text reading, $1,000 to help you pass the outbreak has been pre-accepted. On Twitter, a similar post. Make sure you fill out the application for FEMA assistance so you can get that $1,000 check by next week. So let's verify. Are these online posts telling you to click a link to claim your payout legit? To find out, we reached out to our sources, the Department of Defense, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, and the Federal Trade Commission. And we should note, this story is changing by the hour. The Senate just agreed on a bipartisan deal, which is now heading to the House. It would give most adults $1,200, and parents would get another $500 per child. And yet our experts warn that scammers are out there. FEMA said this: anyone who tells you they can get you the money now is a scammer. That's why the FTC is helping us out with a couple red flags. First, the government is not going to ask you to pay a fee to get that payout. Second, the government is not going to ask for your social security number, bank account, or credit card number. So we can verify. False. Many of these online posts telling you how to sign up to get a stimulus check are not legit. Your best bet is to wait for an official source to tell you how to collect.
Fear, anxiety, and coping. Next on Primetime, an exclusive 11 Alive survey reveals how Americans are dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic.
It's kind of nice being in this dry pattern here in Georgia and all around the southeast. We are watching a system, though, that is going to be pushing through for the weekend. I'll let you know if that will bring us any rain.
In your neighborhood. It's like an inside scoop.
Oh, nice. But you know, I really wish you would have told us we were filming this today.
Ooh, did I not text you? All right. Ah, it's in my drafts. That's my bad.
So you slept in and you missed Morning Rush, huh? Well, here's what you missed.
In my experience, good guys do finish last.
Stop.
I consider myself a nice guy. I've got the most beautiful woman in the world in my eyes.
You're a nice guy too,
Yeah.
Jess.
I'm saying in my experience, when growing up, good guys didn't finish last.
Somebody broke his heart somewhere along the line.
We're here every weekday morning, so come on, hang out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11 Alive.
Televised newscast not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
You didn't get my text? The whole crew got together for coffee this morning.
I'm learning the taste of water because I'm sugary.
Yeah,
right.
About that.
Reward would be
Slimming down. Okay. Yes.
yeah,
Okay.
a little water in my
yes.
cup.
And beautiful skin. You know, even more beautiful skin, you know, when it's all hydrated and everything else. I'm not going to be able to sit next to you in a few months.
Don't drink your morning coffee alone. Have it with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. Only on 11 Alive.
Some mornings, what you want isn't what you have time for. And that's why there's the Rush Block, the biggest news of the day in 5 minutes or less. Quick and convenient for all those hectic mornings. Catch the Rush Block on the Morning Rush.
Everybody has learned how to drive, so I'm going to go ahead and retire.
It didn't last long. Crank up your morning rush with Crash Clark. Weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. on 11 Alive. Traffic brought to you by John Foy & Associates.
Atlanta is filled with great photo spots. And of course, I would know because this is my hometown. I'm 11 Alive's Francesca Amaker, and I'm about to show you my picks for the 3 best Instagram spots in Atlanta. The Outcast mural is one of Atlanta's newest hotspots. Created by the artist Jex, people flock from all over the world just to get a shot of these 2 hip-hop legends. News of the mural went viral when Big Boy himself gave a shout out on Instagram. You can find it tucked away in a back parking lot in Little Five Points. An Atlanta icon, ever changing, always interesting. The crowd.
The COVID-19 headlines are constantly coming in, so we want to get you caught up on 3 headlines that you may have missed. Stocks were booming today. This is much welcome news, and here is why. Wall Street was jumping after the $2.2 trillion bipartisan coronavirus relief bill passed Congress. Major indexes, including the Dow Jones, jumped more than 6%. All of the Grand Princess cruise ship passengers being quarantined at Dobbins Air Reserve Base in Marietta have now gone home, and most of them to their own homes. That is much welcome news for them. A pleasant side of social distancing, more room on metro roads. Governor Kemp tweeted statewide interstate traffic is down 22%. 9 main Atlanta roads are down 47%, and the morning rush, it's down 32%. And volunteers with Decatur's Green Forest Community Baptist Church held a drive-up grocery giveaway today, passing out bags of essentials to 100 cars.
We know all of this has many of you feeling uncomfortable. A new 11 Alive Survey USA poll found about 43% of people across the country are feeling anxious right now. For the most part, they are not feeling depressed, but only 41% describe themselves as calm. The top way you're coping, there's a whole lot of spring cleaning going on. About half of you are stress eating, 44% are cooking, and about 40% are talking to friends.
Local charities who work in the communities say now more than ever they need help. As a result of social distancing, they are struggling to overcome new challenges. Armar Suriani shares how you can help.
During the toughest times, we often see the best in our community. During the COVID-19 pandemic, local groups are working to feed Atlanta, but they can't do it alone. Right now, the Atlanta Community Food Bank is not able to accept in-person donations. You can still help your neighbors through monetary donations, though. $25 provides 100 meals. You can even create your own virtual food drive on their website. Hosea Helps is also committed to feeding those in need. Volunteers and staff are collecting canned goods and sealed boxed food items. They're also delivering meals to seniors and passing out food at a temporary warehouse.
We are practicing, as I said, 10 or less in the warehouse to keep our staff and the volunteers as safe as possible. But because Hosea Helps is one of Atlanta's primary mass food distribution food banks, we really need the food and donations.
And as you donate, remember to look out for scammers. Only send your money to reputable organizations. Head to 11alive.com and click on this story for more information.
I'm meteorologist Chris Holcomb, once again with you, practicing social distancing. I'm in my basement Storm Tracker studio tonight, and it's a great day today to get outside and enjoy those temperatures that made it up to 80 degrees. We had the clouds early, and then those clouds broke up. The only problem, it's the pollen. And I know a lot of folks who are outside trying to maybe step outside from working at home or helping with the kids. Stepping outside to get a breath of fresh air, that breath of fresh air was filled with pollen. Look at the pollen count. These are the trends that we've been going through this week. On Monday, it was 594. That was down from over 2,000 on Sunday. So we were loving that, right? And then 19 Tuesday, thanks to the cooler air and some rain, we were back up to 664 yesterday, and then today, 3697. That is the highest pollen count so far this year, and I really wouldn't be surprised if it's going to be even higher for tomorrow. Here's a look at that high today. Made it up to 80 degrees. Our low this morning was 52, way above average. We should be around 67 for this time of year. And then look at the record. 85 is the record for today's date. That was set in 1991. Today, we were 5 degrees away from that. Tomorrow is going to be even hotter. We're going to get up to 87, and if we hit 87, that will tie the record for tomorrow's date. So here's what we're watching this week with our headlines. It is getting hotter. We're going to be in the 80s both tomorrow and on Saturday. We're going to see a mixture of sunshine and clouds, but dry. Then we're watching an area of rain that's going to be moving through on Sunday. Sunday is not going to be a total washout. There will just be a few showers as the system is going to be moving through pretty quickly. So here's what we're watching on the wasometer for tomorrow. It's going to be a 10, lows in the morning right at 60 degrees and that high of 86. Again, if we hit 86, that is going to tie the record for tomorrow's date. Also, a few clouds will be mixing in with the sunshine. Here's the forecast track. You can see tonight we're going to be looking fine out there in the morning. Southerly flow, mostly sunny skies. There will be just a few clouds that mix in with the sunshine, but really it's just going to be hot with those temperatures in the mid 80s. And as we get into Saturday, notice a few clouds that are building here to the west. Here's the timeline, 7 o'clock in the morning Saturday. You can see those clouds trying to build in. As they move our way, they're going to start breaking up a little bit, but we will see those clouds gradually increasing somewhat during the day. And it's going to be on Sunday, Sunday when we see that rain. This is early in the morning on Sunday, and then it sweeps through pretty quickly around lunchtime, and then after moves out of here. Maybe some rumbles of thunder and flashes of lightning, but we don't expect anything severe on Sunday. A few clouds Friday with some sunshine, a few more clouds Saturday, 83. 76 Sunday with scattered showers passing through. Dry Monday, scattered showers again Tuesday and Wednesday. And then when that moves out, it cools down again with temperatures moving back down into the 60s, which is closer to where we should be for this time of year.
Fulton County health officials are doing what they can to answer questions and also to get people tested for COVID-19. Fulton County has the highest amount of coronavirus cases in the state with more than 200 confirmed cases. So now they've opened up a call center to help funnel some of those conversations and those questions and really give people the information they're looking for. Nick Sturdivant has more.
Right now, Fulton County leads the state when it comes to the number of confirmed COVID-19 cases. I know a lot of you have questions and concerns, which is why the Board of Health launched that hotline. I spoke with Dr. David Holland, Chief Clinical Officer, about it. He says the COVID-19 hotline is set to answer questions about the coronavirus, also to get test results and speak with a nurse if you are sick or believe you may have come in contact or exposed to the coronavirus. People can also speak to a representative about getting screened at the county's testing site.
We needed a place where people could call and ask questions. So we knew this needed to be more than one person. Right now we have about 15 people on rotation through the call center, but we have more coming in because the demand is increasing.
Again, there is testing available in Fulton County, but you have to fall under this criteria. For example, you must be an adult, 60 or older, caregiver of those 60 and older, or a caregiver of people who have compromised immune systems. People with serious medical conditions are given priority to get tested as well, along with healthcare workers and those who work in homeless shelters, nursing homes, and also the jail.
We are trying to expand testing to include everyone who has symptoms of COVID and that's coming in the near future. But right now, it is kind of limited.
And the number for that call center is at the bottom of your screen. It's open Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 5 o'clock p.m.
Okay, yeah, a little water in my cup.
And beautiful skin. You know, even more beautiful skin, you know, when it's all hydrated and everything else. I'm not going to be able to sit next to you in a few months.
Don't drink your morning coffee alone. Have it with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. Only on 11 Alive.
Some mornings, what you want isn't what you have time for. And that's why there's the Rush Blog, the biggest news of the day in 5 minutes or less. Quick and convenient for all those hectic mornings. Catch the Rush Blog on the Morning Rush.
Everybody has learned how to drive, so I'm going to go ahead and retire.
It didn't last long. Crank up your morning rush with Crash Clark. Weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. on 11 Alive. Traffic brought to you by John Foy & Associates.
Atlanta is filled with great photo spots. And of course, I would know because this is my hometown. I'm 11 Alive's Francesca Amaker, and I'm about to show you my picks for the 3 best Instagram spots in Atlanta. The Outcast mural is one of Atlanta's newest hotspots. Created by the artist Jex, people flock from all over the world just to get a shot of these 2 hip-hop legends. News of the mural went viral when Big Boy himself gave a shout out on Instagram. You can find it tucked away in a back parking lot in Little Five Points. An Atlanta icon, ever-changing, always interesting. The Krog Street Tunnel is full of artwork from some pretty eclectic Atlanta artists.
Yeah, all we feel is good vibe with it. It's a good time. We don't worry about the hate. We just pass it to the side.
There's graffiti, community messages, concert announcements. You really never know what you're gonna get here, and that's what makes it so special. You can find it between Cabbagetown and Inman Park. If you've never checked it out, it's a must-see. There are hundreds of works of art along the Beltline. I'm talking murals, sculptures, photography. This beautiful mural was created by the artist Hence. It's 100 feet long, and even though it was created in 2014, it still remains very popular to musicians and photographers alike. You can find it on the East Side Trail under Virginia Avenue. So let me know what you think. It doesn't have to be street art. Maybe your favorite spot is down the street from your home or a great view. Connect with me on Facebook and Instagram and share your favorite Instagram.
Today would have been opening day in baseball, and now it's looking like it will at least be May by the time the game returns, with some proposals projecting the World Series could happen at the end of November, possibly even around Christmas. Alex Glaze caught up with Braves player Charlie Culverson about the season when it happens.
So Charlie, obviously opening day today, but no baseball. Just kind of what's the feeling?
This is a weird time for everybody. It's a little sad too, right? Because for us, sports brings everybody together, and we can't do that right now.
Sports will return eventually. When, we don't know. What do you think that looks like when baseball does come back? You guys were in the middle of spring training.
It almost seems like those 4 weeks or 5 weeks was kind of like it didn't happen, so it's kind of weird.
You can't expect to just jump right into the season at this point.
No, you can't, but I think with what we've done so far and what their hopes are is for us to be professional and to keep, doing as much as possible. I think everybody's just hopeful.
We're going to see a nice day tomorrow, dry weather, a few clouds with the sunshine, but it's going to be hot, possibly a record. 86 degrees would tie the record for tomorrow. Then on Saturday, just a few more clouds are going to move in with highs around 83. Quick moving system bringing some showers, maybe a little thunder on Sunday before we dry out Monday. Scattered showers again Tuesday and Wednesday, then cooler by the middle and end of next week.
All right, Chris, thank you so much. More news and weather coming up here on the ATL. Then you can switch over for Up Late at 11 on our sister station, 11 Alive.
Only on 11 Alive.
Atlanta. Almost 6 million people call the Metro home. But what makes this place so great? I'm 11 Alive's Chesley McNeil. I'm going to give you 3 reasons why Atlanta is the best city in America. Come on, man. It's the heart of the South. And it's one of the most diverse cities around. People from all walks of life have come here and made it home. From different backgrounds, languages, and religions. And who can forget about the food? They all make this a cultural melting pot, full of great people and Southern hospitality. Atlanta's rich history is unmatched, known as the cradle of the civil rights movement for good reason. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Andrew Young, John Lewis, they all fought in the struggle for equal rights right here. Businesses on Sweet Auburn Avenue, local black churches, and college students from Atlanta all helped shape the future of America. Once an Olympic city, Atlanta's home to the best sports scene across the nation. Hey look, the South has something to say. You won't find more passionate fans anywhere. From the Atlanta Braves home run king, my man Hank Aaron, to the human highlight film Hawks' Dominique Wilkins, some of the greatest athletes have come through Atlanta. We're talking the Falcons, the Braves, the Hawks, the MLS champs, Atlanta United. This city has something for every kind of sports fan. So what do you think? Is Atlanta the best city in America? Connect with us. Use Facebook or Instagram and tell us why this city's got it going on. And then watch us every weekday morning from 5 to 7 on The Morning Rush on 11 Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
Babe, where are my keys?
Where's my lunch?
Where's my phone? Hey, where's my blue shirt?
Where's my pen? Have you seen it?
Everybody has learned how to drive, so I'm going to go ahead and retire.
It didn't last long. Crank up your morning rush with Crash Clark. Weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. on 11 Alive. Traffic brought to you by John Foy & Associates.
I woke up at 2 in the morning to be here. Where were you?
Once you allow it, right, then it sets you up for the entire week where you just have lost it.
Like on a Sunday, it's like, oh, let's just order some Chinese food, and of course you wind up eating tons of that. And then on Monday, you're like, well, I got leftovers, I can't let it go to waste.
Auntie wants to give you a plate to take home from the barbecue.
Auntie.
Auntie, don't invite me to the barbecue.
I'm gonna be looking for you next time, so use the hashtag and let us know you're hanging out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. Only on 11 Alive.
The 11 Alive app is your go-to source for all things Atlanta.
You hear what happened today? I'll tell you all about it.
Breaking news the moment it happens.
The boil water advisory.
Hyper-local, accurate weather alert.
You may want to grab that sweater, maybe even a coat.
More stories to uncover. More videos to discover.
He did it his way.
Personal.
11 Alive News Primetime on the ATL starts now.
And good evening, everyone. I'm Jeff Hullinger, broadcasting tonight from my home in town Atlanta. It has been quite a day, and coronavirus has upset and it has impacted the lives of every one of us. Tonight, we got an update as to where the state government, federal government, city and county is going, and also what health officials are seeing on the horizon for us, not only around the country, but also here in the state of Georgia. It was a public town hall meeting, simulcast on all of the Atlanta television stations. First, a look at the latest numbers for Georgia. 1,643 confirmed cases. New category here, 509 hospitalized and 56 deaths. The State Health Department reporting the highest number of patients are now between the ages of 18 and 59. Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms took part in the governor's town hall tonight, and she spoke on the importance of social distancing to help stop the spread. To our Cheryl Preheim.
We have to remember that Grady is already in a compromised position because of the flood a couple of months ago. And on any given day, Grady may be near capacity. The anecdotal information that I received just yesterday was that Grady was around 90% at capacity in its ICU. So we have to remember, in the midst of this coronavirus, heart attacks don't stop, car accidents don't stop, any of the number of other things that send people into the ICU. So it is of tremendous concern to me, and by the projections that I've received from Dr. Carlos Del Rio at Emory, at this rate, we will exceed our capacity in the state by May 3rd. But certainly it's our hope that with these proactive measures in place that we can stop and slow down the spread of this virus.
And that certainly is some optimism there. There are other headlines to talk about tonight as it relates to the coronavirus. The U.S. now leading the world in the number of confirmed COVID-19 cases, with more than 82,000 passing China and Italy. That is according to Johns Hopkins University, and that, of course, is out of Baltimore, Maryland. Governor Kemp tonight standing behind his decision not to issue a shelter-in-place order for the state. More from his town hall meeting coming up in the next half hour right here. Plus, unemployment claims continue to soar to the highest numbers in decades.
We discussed how vitally important it is for all of our nations to immediately share information and data, and we've been doing that to a large extent, but we'll do it even more so, and to inform our, I guess you could say, form each of us on the fight that we've got going one way or the other. It's a little bit different, but we're handling it a little bit in different ways.
So the president is now expecting to have more information on this. He will have another news conference that he will hold tomorrow afternoon. Almost half of the cases so far are in New York, and Louisiana is proving to be another hotspot. So the president spoke today with many of the world leaders about it, as you have already heard, and he expects to have more information on coronavirus by next week. Now, the governor told us he believes the virus may have been spreading undetected in Georgia for weeks before we had our first official confirmation. Joe Hankey is taking a closer look at the timeline.
People already had this disease over a month ago in our state. There's some, and I'm one of them, that believes this virus has been here since potentially December or early January.
Governor Kemp made that statement Wednesday in a one-on-one interview with 11 Alive. Today, his office confirmed his statement is based on the unavailability of testing early on as the virus spread, meaning COVID-19 could have been in Georgia for weeks while going undetected. Today, we asked the CDC about when the virus may have first entered Georgia or the U.S. A spokesman wrote by email, it's not clear when COVID-19 first entered the U.S. CDC and others are conducting studies that may help to answer this question. Here is the timeline we do have based off reporting from NBC News and information from the CDC. December 31st, Chinese officials confirmed cases of pneumonia in Wuhan from an unknown cause. A week later, the outbreak is ID'd as a new strain of coronavirus. Nearly 2 weeks later, the World Health Organization confirms the first cases outside of China in Thailand, Japan, and South Korea. And U.S. health officials confirmed the first confirmed U.S. case in Washington state from a man who traveled home from Wuhan. Days later, screenings for the virus began at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, and on March 2nd, the first 2 confirmed cases in Georgia are announced. So the question now, can anything be done to look back and verify if COVID-19 came to Georgia before those confirmed cases on March 2nd? Dr. Jose Cordero, a professor and epidemiologist with UGA, says researchers did just that in Puerto Rico following the Zika outbreak of 2016.
What was done is just look back at the samples of people that were tested for fever and symptoms that were related like to dengue and others that were negative for that, and were tested for Zika. And because of that, we found some in November, but also we went all the way to July and found none.
Cordero says in theory the same could now be done with samples remaining from people who tested negative for the flu or other viruses here in Georgia.
And with many businesses ordered to shut down, as you can imagine, unemployment claims now are soaring to astronomical levels that we have not seen in Georgia. In fact, the state told us today the number of claims doubled last week. Claims now coming in faster than what the state saw during the recession in 2008 and 2009. Ryan Kruger shows us how people are trying to find some help.
The impacts of coronavirus are spreading so quickly, it can be hard just to keep up. But listen to this. Just last week, the state reported that Georgia's labor involvement was at an all-time high, unemployment at an all-time low.
This is what a sports bar looks like when there are no sports and bars are forced to close. The owner of Kirkyard in southeast Atlanta, Dan O'Kirk, made sure all of his employees got their last paycheck, except him.
You know, the first person I didn't pay was myself. Most of these folks that work kind of shift to shift or paycheck to paycheck.
A record number of Georgians now filing for unemployment. A lot of them bartenders, servers, and cooks. And that means their old bosses, who hope to hire them back, are now filing paperwork with the state to make sure everyone can get their unemployment benefits.
What do small business owners need right now to make sure that they can survive?
You know, simply, money.
Kirk tells me he's excited to see loans being offered now by local, state, and federal agencies, but he worries that too much of that money might end up going to the top.
Some of these loans that are at 0%, I think are going to be phenomenal. It's just a matter of, I can't imagine there being enough of this money out there.
And the state labor department announced today that they are actually extending the amount of time you can collect unemployment from 14 weeks to now 26 weeks.
And right now, there still is no shelter-in-place order for the state of Georgia, but many cities and counties have opted to go for this out on their own, ordering that non-essential businesses must close. We have gotten a lot of questions, a lot of emails, a lot of content on social media as well about what an essential business is and who is allowed to stay open and which businesses are able to stay closed. Now, hospitals and diagnostic labs are at the top of the list. Firefighters and police officers also are working. Grocery stores, restaurant takeout, they're allowed to stay open. So you think of it like a web in the sense that you have to fill shelves at grocery stores, and deliveries also have to be made, which means at gas stations, shipping companies, they all are open and their workers are all exempt, so they can get back and forth from home, which is why public transportation is still running here in Atlanta, and it is running in other cities as well. So what is closed? This is what we're talking about right now. Tourist attractions, sports venues, obviously, movie theaters, dine-in restaurants and office buildings are all shut. And big box stores that don't also sell groceries have also been forced to shut their doors in several states. Now, here's something we want to address. We have gotten questions from viewers who are still going to work every day, and they say that their bosses, their employer, is not following the safety guidelines from the state. They're wondering what they can do about it. We reached out to the governor's office, and they say you should call the state's COVID-19 hotline, and that number is on your screen. You can see it, 844-442-2681. New tonight, Georgia House.
Well, new tonight, Georgia House Speaker David Ralston is asking Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger to push back Georgia's primary even farther. It has already been pushed back to May 19th. The election was originally set to happen this past Tuesday. In a letter, Speaker Ralston wrote about the uncertain future of this public health emergency. He also mentioned several other states that have already delayed their presidential primaries. He then asked the secretary to move Georgia's general primary to June 23rd at the earliest. To do that would require changing state law. We reached out to the Secretary of State's office, and they say they have no comment on the proposal. Today, Governor Kemp announced the closure of all public high schools through April 24th. 11 Alive's Latasha Given shows us how parents are coping with becoming homeschool teachers, something they'll have to do for even longer than they anticipated.
Now that's going to be a hard pill to swallow for parents, but it's something we're going to have to work with. It's going to have a great impact on the students.
That's Selma Wilson's reaction to the news. She's a daycare teacher who misses interacting with her students.
We look forward to that daily greeting, seeing their faces, watching them progress in their growth.
Tony Bridges let out a big sigh when we checked in with her and her daughter Shania on what it's been like so far.
I think for the kids, it's a lot of work. The testing, the quizzing, and the parents, we have to be the instructors. And I don't think all of us have that patience as some teachers do.
She says her skills as a substitute teacher are coming in handy. And she has empathy for the parents who still have to work while their students are at home.
It's been a challenge, but we're making it day by day.
Because we're in this together. It's not hitting one person and missing the other. We all are feeling the brunt of it.
And we want to hear from you, the good and the bad. Share your experience and your solutions on the 11 Alive Facebook page. And remember, we're in this together.
Well, just hours after Governor Kemp made that announcement about schools, APS held a virtual town hall to address concerns from parents. APS Superintendent Dr. Maria Karstarfin says the biggest question is, will schools close for the rest of the year? She says Governor Kemp has advised them a decision will be made closer to April 24th. And when it comes to technology, Dr. Karstafen says they have handed out more than 8,000 devices to students, but they know some families need more. They ask that parents reach out to their schools to request a device and try to set up a time to pick one up. As for APS employees, the superintendent addressed if the district is planning any layoffs.
Agreed at the outset that we were not going to furlough, we're not going to lay off, we're not going to cut people's salaries. We even supported substitutes.
Dr. Karstafen says they are planning a normal spring break, meaning no teleworking, no teleschool. They also plan to give away food on the first Saturday of spring break to help out those students with the help of the Atlanta Food Bank. And after spring break, the food and nutritional plan will then change. Instead of dropping food off every day, they're hoping to deliver a week's worth of food per child to caregivers. They're also asking for volunteers and donations. You can find a sign-up sheet on APS's website. Dr. Karstafen says the district only has one confirmed case of COVID-19. That person has had no contact with students or employees.
We're watching radar and not a lot showing up on it right now, not only here in Georgia, but over a big part of the southeast. There will be a system, though, developing to the west that eventually is going to make it our way. Stay with us. I'll let you know if that's going to bring us any rain as we head into the weekend.
By now, you probably know Americans are expected to be getting stimulus checks in the mail, but there are still a lot of questions like, are they taxed? And do retirees get checks? We're answering those questions coming up next.
Murals, sculptures, photography. This beautiful mural was created by the artist Hence. It's 100 feet long, and even though it was created in 2014, it still remains very popular to musicians and photographers alike. You can find it on the East Side Trail under Virginia Avenue. So let me know what you think. It doesn't have to be street art. Maybe your favorite spot is down the street from your home or a great view. Connect with me on Facebook and Instagram and share your favorite Instagram spots in Atlanta. And come hang out with me on Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. on 11 Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
I haven't seen you in a while. Where you been?
It looks like fun.
They are fun.
And they're convenient.
But they're being dumped everywhere.
5,000 scooters at one time active throughout the city. I enjoy them myself. They're fun. There's got to be some regulations.
I just feel like we have to evolve with the times, though. They're not going anywhere. They shouldn't go anywhere. It's a new way of transporting. We have to evolve.
I'm going to be looking for you next time, so use the hashtag and let us know you're hanging out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m.
You see them all day, every day. Headlines, stats, and numbers, but without context, they're just clickbait. So let's add some perspective. The 3 most interesting numbers of the day, what they mean, and why they're important. News and numbers on Up Late.
What's the best part about
Much of the news shifts to Washington, D.C. tomorrow, and it is worth watching very closely as the House of Representatives will now take on the economics relief bill that would set aside $2 trillion for corporations, small businesses, and individual Americans. Today, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, on her 80th birthday, said that she is confident the House will indeed pass this bill, but adds there still is plenty that needs to be done tonight. Speaker Pelosi is now calling for a 4th coronavirus relief bill. We will see how that goes. Under the plan passed by the Senate, if you are single and you make less than $75,000 a year, you will get $1,200. If you're married and you make less than $150,000, you'll get $2,400. Plus, parents will get an additional $500 for each child. And you will get less money if you make a bigger salary. A person who earns more than $99,000 will not get anything. And married couples without children who earn more than $198,000 annually will not get anything either. So there are still a lot of questions about what all of this means. And when you talk about issues relating to taxes and relief and a lot of money, federal money, there are all kinds of stipulations and a lot of things to try and figure out. In the meantime, the Verify team tackles 3 big questions about the stimulus bill.
eyes have been on Capitol Hill this week. That's where the Senate finalized a plan to send stimulus checks to millions of Americans. But there's a lot of confusion about this plan, so let's clear it up. Our sources are 3 senators, the IRS, the AARP, and the Census Bureau. Here's question 1. Does this payout count as income? And this really matters because, as we all know, income gets taxed. To find out, we spoke with the offices of Maryland Senator Ben Cardin and Virginia Senators Tim Kaine and Mark Warner. All of them said no. This payout will not count as income, and that means it's not going to be taxed.
Hello, my name is Wanda.
Okay, our next question comes from a viewer, Wanda Wright. Her question was this: will retirees receive the cash payout?
Would you please verify whether we are included or not?
So here's what we found. If you filed your taxes, the situation is really easy. You're going to get a check so long as your income qualifies. Same goes for those on Social Security, disability, or railroad retirement benefits. Even without filing taxes, you're automatically eligible for the payout. It's a bit more complicated if you're on Supplemental Security Income, SSI. You will need to file taxes to get a check. Here's our last question. Do you need to fill out the census to be eligible? And right away, this one we could stamp as false. The Census Bureau wrote, quote, "Your answers cannot be used to impact your eligibility for any government benefits."
Well, there has been a lot of troubling news all day and all night, but some good information for us as it relates to the weather. Our chief meteorologist, Chris Holcomb, joins us from his house. So from my house to your house, Chris, it's all yours.
Yeah, we're really social distancing, aren't we? And yeah, I'm in my basement right now, and at least the weather is cooperating with us right now. We are in a dry pattern. Everybody has a chance to, while they're working from home and helping your kids at school at home, to get outside and maybe get a breath of fresh air, but that breath often is filled with pollen. Take a look at the pollen count for today. 3,697. That is the highest pollen count that we have had so far this year. It's the highest since mid-April of last year. And we're concerned that it's only going to get higher. We usually don't peak till the beginning of April, and we're in a dry weather pattern, warm weather pattern, and that is what is needed to make those pollen spores just really explode out there. So just hold on, as we're going to see more pollen that'll be moving through our area. Here's what we're watching out there with the temperatures today. Now, we started off pretty comfortable, temperatures that were in the 50s early this morning, and then we were rising quickly during the day. By lunchtime, we were at 65, but we still had a long way to go after lunch. We made it up to 79 degrees at 5, 6, and 7. In between these hourlies, though, we did go up to 80 degrees. That was our high temperature for the day. We missed the record by 5 degrees. Now, if you want a record, we potentially are going to tie a record tomorrow. I'm forecasting a high of 86 degrees, and if we hit 86, that will be a record for tomorrow's date. Here's what we're watching with temperatures right now. We have cooled back to 70 in town. Outside the city, it is cooler. We have mid-60s in Peachtree City, Athens, Covington, Carrollton, and even some 50s up in Blairsville and Clayton right now. Rome, you're in the mid-60s at this hour. So feeling pretty comfortable. And as we go through the daytime hours tomorrow, we start in the low 60s, and then at 9, we'll be at about 64 degrees, 72 at 11. We're going to feel those temperatures rising very quickly during the day. This model's saying 85. I think we'll hit 86 to tie that record tomorrow. We'll see a lot of sunshine at times, just mixing in with a few clouds. So we're going to go with a 10 on the wasometer, low in the morning of 60, a high in the afternoon of 86, and that would tie the record high temperature. Here's a look at the forecast track, and you can see here, tomorrow morning, we're going to see mostly sunny skies here. We will have just a few clouds that will blow through tomorrow, mixing in with that sunshine at times, but we're not going to see any rain around at all. Southwesterly flow transporting in that really warm air, and then eventually a little more moisture coming in with that southwesterly flow will bring in a few clouds on Saturday. We'll see some of those mixing in. I think a few more clouds on Saturday. Then on Sunday, we're watching this next system that's going to move in. This is at 9:30 Sunday morning, a few showers in northwest Georgia. Lunchtime, a couple of showers. That sweeps through pretty quickly. Maybe some rumbles of thunder, but we don't expect anything severe. Dry Friday and Saturday in the 80s. Scattered showers Sunday. Monday we dry out. Scattered showers again Tuesday and Wednesday before we dry out again by Thursday, with high temperatures in the middle of the week back to the 60s.
All right, Chris, thank you. Spring definitely is here. And here is your weather wow moment of the day also. Firefighters working to contain a wildfire in Kansas near the Oklahoma state line. It took firefighters from 11 agencies and 2 Black Hawk helicopters to battle this blaze. There were no reports of damage to homes or to buildings. By the way, we want to see your weather wow moments, and the easiest way to share them is on the 11 Alive Storm Trackers Facebook group. You can go request to join the group right now. It's a lot of fun, and we look forward to seeing your pictures. Coming up during this news broadcast, how one Marietta couple is offering signs of hope during these stressful and uncertain times.
Atlanta's newest hotspots. Created by the artist Jex, people flock from all over the world just to get a shot of these two hip-hop legends. News of the mural went viral when Big Boy himself gave a shout-out on Instagram. You can find it tucked away in a back parking lot in Little Five Points. An Atlanta icon, ever-changing, always interesting. The Krog Street Tunnel is full of artwork from some pretty eclectic Atlanta artists.
Yeah, all we feel is good vibes. When you vibe with it, it's a good time. We don't worry about the hate, we just pass it to the side.
There's graffiti, community messages, concert announcements. You really never know what you're gonna get here, and that's what makes it so special. You can find it between Cabbagetown and Inman Park. If you've never checked it out, it's a must-see. There are hundreds of works of art along the Beltline. I'm talking murals, sculptures, photography. This beautiful mural was created by the artist Hence. It's 100 feet long, and even though it was created in 2014, it still remains very popular to musicians and photographers alike. You can find it on the East Side Trail under Virginia Avenue. So let me know what you think. It doesn't have to be street art. Maybe your favorite spot is down the street from your home or a great view. Connect with me on Facebook and Instagram and share your favorite Instagram spots in Atlanta. And come hang out with me on Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. on 11 Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
I haven't seen you in a while. Where you been?
It looks like fun.
They are fun.
And they're
convenient. But they're being dumped everywhere.
5,000 scooters at one time active throughout the city. I enjoy them myself. They're fun.
Yeah.
There's got to be some regulations.
I just feel like we have to evolve with the times, though. They're not going anywhere. They shouldn't go anywhere. It's a new way of transporting.
Yeah.
We have to evolve.
I'm going to be looking for you next time, so use the hashtag and let us know you're hanging out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m.
You see them all day, every day. Headlines, stats, and numbers, but without context, they're just clickbait. So let's add some perspective. The 3 most interesting numbers of the day, what they mean, and why they're important. News and numbers on Up.
There is a line that we are often told that in times of trouble, when things are going poorly and you need some assistance, you should always look for helpers. And we have one Marietta family that certainly fits that description. They live on a very busy neighborhood road, and they decided to use their position to spread words of encouragement to those who pass by on foot. Photojournalist David Brooks spoke to them and others about their message.
I'm Melissa. I'm Sebastian. I'm Isaiah. I feel like everybody is kind of panicking right now because of the virus. It had been raining for a couple days, and then last Saturday it was sunny, so we're trying to come up with different things to do each day. We've been home. It's about 2 weeks now that we've been inside trying to do our part to be social distancing. So we thought this would be a good arts and crafts project, so we went outside in the sun. So we took bed sheets and spray paint and we put it on a fence. Every little thing is gonna be alright. It's a Bob Marley song. Every little thing gonna be alright. We live on a fairly busy neighborhood street, so we figured when people drive by or taking walks, they can see it. We just wanted to let people know that it's a time where we just need to lift each other up and stay positive and reach out to one another and smile. We just hope that it reaches someone who needs to see it. So even if it just brightens one person's day, then we were successful.
Bob Marley's reggae always makes everything better. When in doubt, fire up the Bob Marley, right? All right, coming up next, ibuprofen. We've heard a lot about it and its relationship with coronavirus. It's not a good one. We will take a look at that as we continue with the news here at 10 o'clock.
Rush on 11 Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
Babe, where are my keys?
Where's my lunch?
Where's my phone? Hey, where's my blue shirt?
Where's my pen? Have you seen it?
Everybody has learned how to drive, so I'm going to go ahead and retire.
It didn't last long. Crank up your morning rush with Crash Clark. Weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. on 11 Alive. Traffic brought to you by John Foy & Associates.
I woke up at 2 in the morning to be here. Where were you?
Once you allow it, right, then it sets you up for the entire week where you just have lost it.
Like on a Sunday, it's like, oh, let's just order some Chinese food, and of course you wind up eating tons of that. And then on Monday, you're like, well, I got leftovers, I can't let it go to waste.
Auntie wants to give you a plate to take home from the barbecue.
Auntie.
Auntie, don't invite me to the barbecue.
I'm gonna be looking for you next time, so use the hashtag and let us know you're hanging out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. Only on 11 Alive.
The 11 Alive app is your go-to source for all things Atlanta.
You hear what happened today? I'll tell you all about it.
Breaking news the moment it happens.
The boil water advisory.
Hyper-local, accurate weather alert.
You may want to grab that sweater, maybe even a coat.
More stories to uncover. More videos to discover.
He did it his way.
Personalized for you.
And that's what makes it so special.
The 11 Alive app. Available now in the App Store.
Hey, I got the ways to go. I got moves to make, homie, but I stay in the flow. See, I just do what I say I'm gonna do. No, movement ain't fading. You could assume what the doing was great.
Oh, and so I was saying, there is always something filming here in Atlanta. From movies to TV shows, you name it. And so the A Scene keeps up with all of it for you. Casting calls, which big celebrities are in town, what's filming, and if it's in your neighborhood. It's like an inside scoop.
Oh, nice. But you know, I really wish you would have told us we were filming this today.
Ooh, did I not text you? All right. Ah, it's in my drafts. That's my bad.
So you slept in and you missed Morning Rush, huh? Well, here's what you missed. In my experience, good guys do finish last.
I consider myself a nice guy. I've got the most beautiful woman in the world in my eyes.
You're a nice guy too,
Yeah.
Jesse.
I'm saying in my experience, when growing up, good guys didn't finish last.
Somebody broke his heart somewhere along the line.
We're here every weekday morning, so come on, hang out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. Only on 11 Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to...
All right, let's get you updated as to where we stand tonight. Right now, Georgia has 1,643 confirmed cases of COVID-19, and the death toll now has risen to 56. Stop and take a look at this graphic showing the top 10 counties with the most cases. And Fulton County is up by 20 cases. There is a total now of 231. This is based on limited testing. So far, the state has tested less than 9,000 people. We have about 9 to 10 million people living in the state. Tonight, Governor Kemp held a statewide town hall meeting. You saw it on one of our network stations here at 11 Alive. And as Hope Ford reports, the governor explained his reasoning, his role, his view as to how to flatten the curve.
The most asked question, why won't Governor Kemp issue a statewide shelter in place? The governor says he's balancing counties with hot spots of cases with areas not impacted.
In Jeff Davis County, I know of 2 days ago, they didn't even have a single case down there, and you have people saying, look, We need to be working. I'm worried about losing my home. I'm worried about getting meals for my kids.
Kemp says 10 counties make up 60% of Georgia's cases, and he believes it's better to leave the decision up to local governments for now. Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms respected the governor's position, but
I would have a stay-at-home order for the entire country, but obviously that is not my call.
Kemp, Bottoms, and Georgia's top public health official, Dr. Kathleen Toomey, all agree they believe social distancing is working in Georgia.
I've seen now that cases seem to be leveling off.
Still, hospitals are running out of space.
Just yesterday was that Grady was around 90% at capacity in its ICU.
Bottoms added the hospital was already feeling the strain. A pipe burst in December, flooding the hospital and wiping out 200 patient care beds. More supplies are being ordered through federal and private partners for all Georgia hospitals. As for testing, Kemp says they're doing everything in their power to ramp up, but asked the public to consult a doctor or the public health department before leaving your house with possible symptoms.
The last thing we want people to do is to be sick and be transmitting this disease by going to a doctor's office waiting room, a hospital waiting room, or maybe saying, I'll get over it tomorrow. I got to run to the grocery store.
The governor added if he needs to in the future, he'll revisit a possible statewide order to shelter in place.
And if you missed tonight's town hall, you can watch all of it in its entirety on our website. 11alive.com is the place to go. New tonight, 4 inmates at Fulton County's jail has now tested positive for coronavirus. These men serve as inmates and they work within the Rice Street facility. They are now being treated and quarantined together. A 5th inmate is awaiting results from a COVID-19 test. Meanwhile, COVID-19 concerns hit one of the largest detention facilities in the country. Families and friends of loved ones detained by ICE want them released from the Stewart Detention Center, as there are great issues there. Elwin Lopez spoke to a woman who says that her friend now is incarcerated there and is afraid, like many others during this pandemic, that it may get worse.
Coming into this country without an authorization is one thing, but like losing their lives over this virus is a completely different thing.
Ana Maria Rockenbach says she worries about those held by ICE at Stewart Detention Center, about 50 miles from hard-hit Dougherty County, where there are more than 100 COVID-19 cases. A friend of hers remains at Stewart after getting a DUI. She says he told her social distancing at the center is practically impossible.
There's literally no way to avoid a massive amount of people contracting the virus.
There are no confirmed cases of COVID-19 at ICE detention facilities here in Georgia, but there are 2 in New Jersey. Federal immigration officials say they are screening new detainees to identify those who are at a higher risk of exposure and have suspended social visits to all of its detention facilities. The agency says it is also isolating detainees with fever and respiratory symptoms. Reichenbach says her friend and others inside Stewart's are concerned that it might not be enough, as COVID-19 symptoms could take days to show up.
That's the worry for the new people coming in. That's the worry for the staff, the people in the kitchen. That's what everyone is worried about.
Get coronavirus. What about ibuprofen? Is it something you want to take, or is it something you want to avoid? And that is an issue that our Jason Puckett and the Verify team is looking into tonight.
Okay, this is a complex story. There is a debate among experts leading to the claim we want to verify. Does ibuprofen make coronavirus symptoms worse? Our sources, the WHO, NIAID, FDA, and Dr. Anthony Fauci. Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, info from Vienna's lab studying COVID-19 say vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake. Johannes Angerer, a spokesperson for the Medical University of Vienna, told us it's not true and added they haven't even researched ibuprofen's involvement with coronavirus. And there's no evidence to support this viral claim. So if you're seeing this, please don't share it. There is a real debate going on, but this makes it seem much, much worse. So now let's talk about that debate and the main question of whether ibuprofen is safe to take if you have COVID-19. This started on March 14th. French Health Minister Olivier Véran tweeted that anti-inflammatories like ibuprofen could aggravate the infection. He recommended Tylenol instead. And he wasn't alone. After his tweet, research journal, the BMJ, posted a list of European doctors and researchers who supported this conclusion. This week, though, multiple health agencies made statements on this. The National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, quote, currently, there's no evidence that ibuprofen increases the risk of serious complications or of acquiring the virus. The FDA, quote, FDA is not aware of scientific evidence connecting the use of NSAIDs like ibuprofen with worsening COVID-19 symptoms. And the World Health Organization, quote, WHO does not recommend against the use of ibuprofen. Here's what Dr. Anthony Fauci, who's become the leading voice of the coronavirus fight in the US, had to say.
I have not seen any firm data to indicate there's a problem or to prove that there's not a problem.
To recap, we know that viral claim that ibuprofen's linked to the majority of deaths is flat out false. But unfortunately, the question of whether it makes symptoms worse is still unknown. The FDA, WHO, and NIAID are all investigating this right now. And while we wait for a definitive answer, the WHO and others say to call your doctor to see which medication might be the best for you.
11 Alive is dedicated to providing you facts, not fear, about COVID-19, doing our best to give you information that will help you and your family and your friends navigate through this very difficult time. And that's why we have a new broadcast every day at 12 noon on 11 Alive, and we are bringing you updates to address your concerns. Our 11 Alive medical correspondent, Dr. Sujatha Reddy, has been with us every day and every night, answering so many questions that come flooding into 11 Alive, be it on our footprint of social media or emails or phone calls or texts. We hear from so many of you during the course of the day and night. And with the weather getting warmer, a lot of people are asking about safety when they go outside. Laura wanted to know if it would be okay to go to her public pool this weekend, and does chlorine kill the virus?
Well, that's a two-part question. I would not go to the public pool if there's going to be more than 10 people there. I think we still have to practice social distancing, and when it's nice outside, that may be harder in some respects. But as far as chlorine, remember, the family of coronaviruses are not new. This one, the COVID-19, is a new one, but coronaviruses have been around for a while, and yes, chlorine will kill coronaviruses. There's no reason to think it won't kill this one. I do think your swimming pool would be safe, but again, right now we have to all focus on social distancing.
And we've heard a lot about these at-home remedies also. This person wanted to know if gargling with salt water, vinegar, and lemon will help keep those germs from moving to the lungs.
No, there is no truth to that. The gargling with salt water, lemon, whatever, gives you relief of the sore throat, but that is not going to prevent the COVID-19 virus. And I will have to say, sore throat is not a common symptom of COVID-19, but gargling with salt water, ginger water, lemon water, unfortunately, isn't going to protect you. I wish it would.
And of course, as we learn more about the symptoms of COVID-19, it is raising more questions like this one. Sandy's daughter came back from college with no taste sensation, and that went on for a week. Does that mean that she now has COVID-19?
It's possible she had COVID-19. We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom, and especially with no other symptoms. But you can also lose your sense of smell and taste from regular colds and even from sinus allergy type things. So it's not for sure, but it could be. So the safest thing that they should do is quarantine together for 14 days.
All right, we have more coming up. Our phones, more than ever, essential to keeping everybody in contact with their bosses, coworkers, family, and friends. So coming up, we're showing you some of the best apps to help you do exactly that.
And we have dry weather out there right now, but we're watching our forecast track because as we go through the weekend, we're going to see a quick moving system that will bring some showers our way. Stay with us. I'll let you know when and if these can have any storms with them.
Everybody has learned how to drive, so I'm going to go ahead and retire.
It didn't last long. Crank up your morning rush with Crash Clark. Weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. on 11 Alive. Traffic brought to you by John Foy & Associates.
Atlanta is filled with great photo spots. And of course, I would know because this is my hometown. I'm 11 Alive's Francesca Amaker, and I'm about to show you my picks for the 3 best Instagram spots in Atlanta. The Outkast mural is one of Atlanta's newest hotspots. Created by the artist Jex, people flock from all over the world just to get a shot of these two hip-hop legends. News of the mural went viral when Big Boy himself gave a shout out on Instagram. You can find it tucked away in a back parking lot in Little Five Points. An Atlanta icon, ever-changing, always interesting. The Krog Street Tunnel is full of artwork from some pretty eclectic Atlanta artists.
Yeah, all we feel is good vibe with it. It's a good time. We don't worry about the hate. We just pass it to the side.
There's graffiti, community messages, concert announcements. You really never know what you're gonna get here, and that's what makes it so special. You can find it between Cabbagetown and Inman Park. If you've never checked it out, it's a must-see. There are hundreds of works of art along the Beltline. I'm talking murals, sculptures, photography. This beautiful mural was created by the artist Hence. It's 100 feet long, and even though it was created in 2014, it still remains very popular to musicians and photographers alike. You can find it on the East Side Trail under Virginia Avenue. So let me know what you think. It doesn't have to be street art. Maybe your favorite spot is down the street from your home or a great view. Connect with me on Facebook and Instagram and share your favorite Instagram spots in Atlanta. And come hang out with me on Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. on 11 Alive.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
I haven't seen you in a while. Where you been?
It looks like fun.
They are fun.
And they're
convenient. But they're being dumped everywhere.
5,000 scooters at one time active throughout the city. I enjoy them myself. They're fun. There's got to be some regulations.
I just feel like we have to evolve with the times, though. They're not going anywhere. They shouldn't go anywhere. It's a new way of transporting. We have to evolve.
I'm going to be looking for you next time, so use the hashtag and let us know you're hanging out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m.
You see them all day, every day. Headlines, stats, and numbers, but without context, they're just clickbait. So let's add some perspective. The 3 most interesting numbers of the day, what they mean, and why they're important. News and numbers on Up Late.
What's the best part about
Your voice, it is never too loud or too much. Your voice has the power to tell it like it is.
Bringing us together to act.
Together our voices grow. Together we come alive, amplifying voices and breaking down barriers to change the story and shape the future. Together we are unstoppable. Together we are where Atlanta.
What a difference a month makes in the life and times of this country. And that is talking about cell phones and the issue of child rearing, how difficult it is to sort of combine both of them. You know, we were complaining about the fact that they're really distracting kids, but we're not talking about that anymore because they have become essential tools in social distancing. The question now is, what are the best apps? What are the apps that help you through this coronavirus? Liza Lucas turned to tech expert Anna Ruth Williams for suggestions.
In a world of social distancing, our digital habits have been turned upside down. Tech expert Anna Ruth Williams helps walk us through the many ways we can connect.
FaceTime is great. And if grandma has an iPhone, you can teach her how to use the FaceTime button just as easy as the call button. Zoom is now the #1 app in the Google Play Store. Zoom is an awesome video tool.
But there are new apps also getting attention.
One is called House Party, and it's an app that allows for group video chat. And then another one is called Marco Polo, which is kind of brands itself as a video walkie-talkie. Use the time to be a digital explorer.
Digital exploring isn't just for families. Schools are also getting creative with connecting.
Edmodo, Zern, Canvas, Slashmath, as well as just YouTube to hold virtual classes.
Right now, it's safe to say there's a huge need for connection for users and companies. So Williams' advice?
Look, all these vendors right now are learning how to improve their products because they're getting a mass amount of users at once. But be patient because I have heard of a lot of tools having bandwidth issues.
At the end of the day, Williams says this could be the return of why apps were created in the first place.
They are enabling deep human connection and authentic connectivity and really meaningful dialogue.
Well, time again for basement weather as we continue our practice of social distancing here at 11 Alive. You know, Jeff is at his house, I'm at my house, and it's been really a nice day except for the pollen. And look at some of the trends that we've had this week. Remember on Sunday, our pollen count was over 2,000. Then on Monday, it went down to 594, thanks to some cooler air and a couple of showers. And then down even more Tuesday to 19. Wasn't that a great day? But you know, it was wet out there. And then Wednesday, we came back up to 664. The count that came in this morning was 3697. And I really wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow's count is not as high or maybe even a little bit higher. That's thanks to all the warm air that we had today and the dry air. And we're going to continue in that pattern here, and that's just going to be conducive for that pollen count to rise a little bit more. Speaking of the warm air today, how do you like that? Our high this afternoon, 80 degrees. The average for this time of year is 67. So we're way above the average. And today we were 5 degrees away from the record. The record is 85 degrees. That was set in 1991. Tomorrow's record is 86. We're forecasting a high of 86. If we hit that, we would tie the record for tomorrow's date. Here's a look at these temperatures for us tonight. 60s now, falling into the low 60s by tomorrow morning. There'll be a couple of clouds that will mix in with the sunshine at times during the day tomorrow, but we're going to see some really big jumps in those temperatures through the morning hours and into the afternoon, eventually making it up to that record-tying temperature of 86 degrees. Here's a look at the weather headlines that we're going to see over the next few days. It's getting hotter, and we're not only going to be in the 80s tomorrow again, but also on Saturday we're going to be in the 80s. We're going to see a mixture of sunshine and clouds. I'm not worried about any rain for tomorrow or for Saturday. It's on Sunday when a fast-moving system is going to move in, giving us a few showers, maybe some rumbles of thunder and flashes of lightning, but it's not going to be a washout on Sunday. There will be a lot of dry hours too. That system's going to move through pretty quickly. So we're going with a 10 on the wazometer here for tomorrow, a low of 60, high of 86 with that mixture of sunshine and clouds. Forecast track shows what we're talking about here. That southerly flow tomorrow, mostly sunny skies, just a couple of clouds kind of mixing in at times during the day, but it's that southerly and southwesterly flow that will give us those temperatures that get up to around 86 degrees. And then with that southwesterly flow, we're going to start picking up a little bit of moisture. This is for Saturday morning. Now, I'm not worried about rain here. We're just going to see a few more clouds that'll move in at times during the day on Saturday. Not a complete overcast and no rain here. It's going to be on Sunday when we see some of those showers that'll move our way. Partly cloudy Friday, 86. A few more clouds Saturday and 83. And then Sunday, those showers will move through. Rumbles of thunder, flashes of lightning possible. Severe weather threat, though, is on the low end. And then a dry day Monday, scattered showers Tuesday and Wednesday, and then clearing out Thursday as we cool off toward the middle of the week, back to the 60s.
Today would have been the opening day of Major League Baseball. Now it's looking like it will not happen until at least May, and who knows if that's going to work out. There have been some proposals that say the World Series might be played around Thanksgiving or possibly Christmas. I've covered enough Peach Bowls in Atlanta before the Georgia Dome in the 1980s. You don't want to be playing outside in Atlanta if there would be a World Series here. Alex Glaze caught up with Braves player Charlie Culberson about the future, however that may be defined.
So Charlie, obviously opening day today, but no baseball. Just kind of what's the feeling?
This is a weird time for everybody. It's a little sad too, right? Because for us, sports brings everybody together, and we can't do that right now.
Sports will return eventually. When, we don't know. What do you think that looks like when baseball does come back? You guys were in the middle of spring training.
It almost seems like those 4 weeks or 5 weeks was kind of like it didn't happen, so it's kind of weird.
People you can't expect to just jump right into the season at this point.
No, you can't, but I think with what we've done so far and what their hopes are is for us to be professional and to keep, doing as much as possible. I think everybody's just hopeful.
Today, the WNBA announced it was going to put its draft on hold next month, but it will be done virtually. IndyCar announced the Indy 500 is postponed until August, but the Grand Prix will be held on July 4th at GMR, creating a doubleheader with NASCAR. Sports and leagues want all of their events to happen. Many are holding on to ticket money. Here's Alex Glaze about the economic loss.
Major League Baseball's opening day should have been Thursday, but instead of rooting for the home team, many baseball fans were left watching reruns.
It's a high drive to left center field. Taylor back at the wall. It is gone.
The Braves would have opened on the road in Arizona, and their home opener would have been April 3rd against Miami. Depending on how long the season is delayed, how much money could the Braves lose? For their home opener, a sellout of 41,149 would have been expected. There are estimates that the average Braves ticket in 2019 sold for $29. So that alone is $1.2 million in just ticket sales. The average attendance in 2019 was 32,779. So canceling until the All-Star game would result in a loss of $39 million on just ticket sales alone. What about a full season? For reference, Liberty Media, the Braves ownership group, revealed they made $476 million in revenue at the Battery and Stadium in 2019. The Atlanta Hawks have played 67 of their regular season games, and Ticket IQ values their loss on the secondary ticket market to be $14 million if the remaining 8 games were canceled. The big question, will there be refunds? Most teams will only issue refunds for cancellations, which hasn't happened in Major League Baseball or the NBA. College athletics, the Final Four, and spring training all said they were issuing refunds since those events were canceled.
And we reached out to many teams to find out how they're dealing with refunds, if that is going to happen. We have not heard back from the teams that we made some inquiries to. We'll keep looking into that as the days and weeks continue. All right, we'll take a break. Back right after this.
Hashtag and let us know you're hanging out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m.
You see them all day, every day. Headlines, stats, and numbers, but without context, they're just clickbait. So let's add some perspective. The 3 most interesting numbers of the day, what they mean, and why they're important. News and numbers on Up Late.
What's the best part about
Your voice, it is never too loud or too much. Your voice has the power to tell it like it is.
Bringing us together to act.
Together, our voices grow. Together, we come alive, amplifying voices and breaking down barriers to change the story and shape the future. Together, we are unstoppable. Together, we are where Atlanta speaks.
Remember the old days, the old cliffhangers when we used to watch shows?
Hey,
and they
cliffhangers.
would, they would wait the next week. You're, what's going to happen to the $6 million man? He was hanging with his one bionic arm.
Morning Rush, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. Only on 11 Alive.
Atlanta. Almost 6 million people call the Metro home. But what makes this place so great? I'm 11 Alive's Chesley McNeil. I'm going to give you 3 reasons why Atlanta is the best city in America. Come on, man. It's the heart of the South. And it's one of the most diverse cities around. People from all walks of life have come here and made it home. From different backgrounds, languages, and religions. And who can forget about the food? They all make this a cultural melting pot, full of great people and Southern hospitality. Atlanta's rich history is unmatched, known as the cradle of the civil rights movement for good reason. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Andrew Young, John Lewis, they all fought in the struggle for equal rights right here. Businesses on Sweet Auburn Avenue, local black churches, and college students from Atlanta all helped shape the future of America. Once an Olympic city, Atlanta's home to the best sports scene across the nation. Hey look, the South has something to say. You won't find more passionate fans anywhere. From the Atlanta Braves home run king, my man Hank Aaron, to the human highlight film Hawks Dominique Wilkins, some of the greatest athletes have come through Atlanta. We're talking the Falcons, the Braves, the Hawks, the MLS champs, Atlanta United. This city has something for every kind of sports fan. So what do you think? Is Atlanta the best city in America? Connect with us. Use Facebook or Instagram and tell us why this city's got it going on. And then watch us every weekday morning from 5 to 7 on the Morning Rush on 11 Alive.
We want to remind you that if you were unable to see the governor's town hall meeting that was carried statewide by all of the local broadcasters all around the state, you have the opportunity to do so. 11alive.com is your place. Some very interesting comments, not only from the governor, but also from the mayor as well, and the health director for the state as well. Very, very interesting information. I think that you will be glad that you watched it. That's it for us for now. 11 Alive right now has Up Late. Check it out. I'm Jeff Hullinger from my home. See you tomorrow.
Retire.
It didn't last long. Crank up your morning rush with Crash Clark. Weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m. on 11 Alive. Traffic brought to you by John Foy & Associates.
I woke up at 2 in the morning to be here. Where were you?
Once you allow it, right, then it sets you up for the entire week where you just have lost it.
Like on a Sunday, it's like, oh, let's just order some Chinese food, and of course you wind up eating tons of that. And then on Monday, you're like, well, I got leftovers, I can't let it go to waste.
Auntie wants to give you a plate to take home from the barbecue.
Auntie.
No.
Auntie, don't invite me to the barbecue.
I'm going to be looking for you next time, so use the hashtag and let us know you're hanging out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11 Alive.
The 11 Alive app is your go-to source for all things Atlanta.
You hear what happened today? I'll tell you all about it.
Breaking news the moment it happens.
The boil water advisory.
Hyper-local, accurate weather alert.
You may want to grab that sweater, maybe even a coat.
More stories to uncover. More videos to discover.
He did it his way.
Personalized for you.
And that's what makes it so special.
The 11 Alive app. Available now in the App Store.
Hey, I got the ways to go. I got moves to make, homie, but I stay in the flow. See, I just do what I say I'ma do. No, my movement ain't faded. You could assume it.
Oh, and so I was saying, there is always something filming here in Atlanta. From movies to TV shows, you name it. And so the A Scene keeps up with all of it for you. Casting calls, which big celebrities are in town, what's filming, and if it's in your neighborhood. It's like an inside scoop.
Oh, nice. But you know, I really wish you would have told us we were filming this today.
Ooh, did I not text you? All right. Ah, it's in my drafts. That's my bad.
So you slept in and you missed Morning Rush, huh? Well, here's what you missed. In my experience, good guys do finish last.
I consider myself a nice guy. I've got the most beautiful woman in the world in my eyes.
You're a nice guy too,
Yeah.
Jeff.
I'm saying in my experience, when growing up, good guys didn't finish last.
Somebody broke his heart somewhere along the line.
We're here every weekday morning, so come on, hang out with us. Morning Rush, weekdays, 5 to 7 a.m., only on 11 Alive.
It's 11 o'clock and we're up late with you. Now at 11, we're getting a better picture of Governor Brian Kemp's strategy to help stop the spread of coronavirus in Georgia. Earlier tonight, he held a statewide town hall to answer questions and to also